Also, yesterday was the PlayStation 5 reveal event, so I figured I might as well give some thoughts about that. We didn't watch it and co-stream it live. We just ended up watching it kind of like most people did on YouTube. And I have to say, was not overwhelmed. Kind of underwhelmed, if anything. You know, this event that was bigged up as this is the future of gaming, and I did not see anything in that was screaming future of gaming to me. It could have been the fact that the video compression on the feed was pretty bad, so it made the games look worse than usual. But apart from Ratchet and Clank, I could not think of a game that was trying to take advantage of the unique hardware that the PlayStation 5 was going to offer. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, showing off the different teleportation between worlds and also in between levels by pulling that orange teleporter towards them. I got too greedy on that second hit. So, yeah. I don't like the look of it that much. It's kind of growing on me, but when we first saw it, me and Pimsy were like, that's an ugly console. It's just not good looking at all. Like, you compare it with the Xbox Series X, which is just like a black box. It's, you know, the joke is that it looks like a fridge, right? But at the end of the day, when you want a console, you want something basically square shaped that will fit horizontally, yes, that is a word now. Horizontally and vertically. Pimsy's saying that she's taking off the worming collars that we put on the cats, as anyone who was following my Twitter may have seen. So, yeah, like, it stands out, but I don't think it stands out in a good way, necessarily. I mean, it looks kind of like what people think a futuristic games console should look like, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Like, I've seen people make lots of jokes and memes about it, like it looks like Seto Kaiba with the collar, it looks like Yu Narakumi from Persona 4, looks like a Wi-Fi router. Someone put a PlayStation 2 within a white folder and says that's the PlayStation 5, and apparently you can rotate the logo on the PlayStation 2, so you can actually make it look more like a PlayStation 5 that way. Yeah, I don't know, it's just, I was expecting to be wowed. And there were some good games shown. I mean, there was Horizon 2, which is called Forbidden West. There was the Demon's Souls remake, which we were expecting to see. No Bloodborne 2, I should point out, though Pimsy was very disappointed. But there were some cool other games that were shown off, like Stray and Little Devil Inside. And yeah, it was an okay showing in terms of games, I think. You know? Wow. Did not realize that could one-shot me. Oh well. Remus says, people would have also made memes whatever it would have looked like. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, that's what happened with the Xbox Series X, right? They said, oh, it looks like a fridge. And then Xbox decided to take advantage of that joke and have someone with a Xbox Series X in their kitchen zoom background, which was great. So, yeah. It was always going to happen, right? You know, that's what the internet is about nowadays, right? But still, I think it looks not great. I mean, the digital version... So there is a PlayStation 5 disc drive version and a digital-only version. And the digital version looks fine, right? Because it's symmetrical on both sides. But the disc drive version looks kind of wonky on one side. And it looks even wonkier when you put it horizontally as well. I was just thinking, it's like, this is not what you want from your games console. Wow, okay. I think I jumped too early into that. Remus thought it looked great. Okay, well, like I said, it might grow on me. I think it depends on what limited editions look like. Because I'm looking at my PlayStation 4 now, and it's the Destiny White limited edition, right? And obviously the default PlayStation 4 when it came out was basically like a black slab with angled front. So there's airflow running in between the sides and the back. And I think that's what they've tried to concentrate on with the PlayStation 5, is where having it horizontally or vertically, airflow should be good. And that will hopefully address some problems that people have had with their PlayStation 4s being very loud. So PlayStation 5s should be much quieter. Supposedly. Like, I don't know. But that seems like it was a big consideration. I slept a little bit last night, but not too much. Demon's Souls made me too excited. So I've seen some people actually complain about the look of the Demon's Souls remake, actually. So it's being done by Bluepoint, who did the Shadow of the Colossus one. And people have said that they've lost, like, the Japanese flair of making it feel like a dreamlike world. It's very westernized because that's what people expect from, you know, generic fantasy. Well, dark fantasy, I guess, would be the reason. When I first saw it, I was like, hang on, there are some things in here that really do not look like Demon's Souls whatsoever. And that's because it's got the Bluepoint sheen on it, as it were. There we go. So yeah, I mean, still looking forward to it, because at the end of the day, it is a Souls game. Should not have gone greedy for that, but that's fine. I think she's about to pull a sword out. Yeah, okay. Alright, get greedy with 2 hits. And then just let her tornado spin all the way to the other side of the stage. Okay, I don't seem to be able to roll through or run through the pews. Okay, so let's try and get close to her again now. Yeah. Pimsy really loved the idea of playing as the cat in Stray. And to be honest, I do too. Oh, wow. She does a jumping attack. Okay. I totally forgot she does that. The other thing is that, other than Spider-Man Miles Morales, Sackboy A Big Adventure, and Astro's Playroom, was there any dates for 2020? It says Holiday 2020, but there's no specific release date yet. Which makes sense, because we're still in June, and they're probably fine-tuning whether they want to have an October or November release date, and when exactly they want to have it in there, right? But that's only 3 games. Demon's Souls was not announced for 2020, as far as I know. They said there's going to be more info in August, but that doesn't mean it's going to be released in August. Obviously, because, you know, the console needs to be out, right? And then there's also the other fact that I think a lot of the games that they did show off will in fact be playable on the PlayStation 4 as well as PlayStation 5, because it makes sense to me, right? They didn't show off anything that looked necessarily like an exclusive. At least yet, to PlayStation 5. Oh no, they did actually. Sorry, that's a lie. Project Athia, the Square Enix one, was definitely a PlayStation 5 exclusive. In regards to games that seem to take advantage of the next gen, there was also Project Athia and Kena Bridge of Spirits that really take advantage of it. Okay, yeah. So Kena Bridge of Spirits was the one that Pimsy said looked like Pikmin, and I kind of agree, because it's lots of little minions running around, lifting enemies and doing puzzles and stuff like that, so yeah. But yes, you're right. Project Athia and Kena were 2 that look specifically for PlayStation 5. Going by some of the news reports today, there's been a bit of confusion about Spider-Man Miles Morales, about whether it's actually Spider-Man 2, which I don't think it is, whether it's a remaster or a remake of Spider-Man PS4 for PlayStation 5, which I still don't think is true either, or whether it's a standalone game like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Infamous First Light, which is what I do think that Miles Morales game is. Because apparently in Spider-Man PlayStation 4, you do find Miles in-game, and he gets his powers during that game. So. Yeah. But the messaging they had on that was not 100% clear. Ooh. Also, I haven't used Carthus Rouge on any of the subsequent attempts because I didn't want to waste it. I've only got 6 left. I was debating whether to, like, grind for souls to try and get more, but I was like, that's probably going to be a waste of time. I still do all have the boss souls, so I can use those instead if I need to, in a pinch. but I don't think it's necessary just yet. I'm getting greedy with that second hit. Gonna have to make some space. I'd actually prefer for her to destroy more of the pews, because then it gives me more space to run around in. And then jump. How quickly does bleed go away? Does anyone know? Because that would be interesting to figure out during this boss fight. Godfall is also exclusively for PlayStation 5. Is also on PC and also holiday 2020. Yeah, Godfall didn't seem to be that interesting, honestly. Like, it wasn't the type of game that me and Pimsy were all that enthusiastic about in the first place. Like, the genre just isn't what we're into. But it didn't look amazing either. Spider-Man Miles Morales is exactly like Uncharted Lost Legacy. It was confirmed by Jason Schreier later on. Okay. Because there's been conflicting reports about that. Apparently, Jason Schreier said that Insomniac's next game was not going to be the Spider-Man sequel, which makes sense because they announced Ratchet & Clank, which is the Insomniac game. So it's possible that Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't actually being done by Insomniac. But yeah, the messaging on it was not 100% clear. And considering they've done Uncharted Lost Legacy and Infamous First Light, you'd think that Sony would know how to present this game that is not a full sequel / is only a spin-off. Just trying to get a few good hits in. Yeah. Good. There was a game called Returnal, which Pimsy and I thought looked a bit... It looked cool, but the name was extremely silly. Like, Returnal, what is that even supposed to mean? But the whole die in a sci-fi alien world, come back and figure out what's actually happening to you kind of thing, seemed like an interesting concept. Big jumps. Alright. When she does the big jump in second phase, don't try and punish it, because there is a follow-up. Really, the gameplay showed is exactly what got me excited about it since I wasn't first. So the gameplay for Miles Morales was I didn't think there was that much. There was the whole lightning cinematic thing, and then you saw him swinging through the buildings every now and then. The ghost transformation, attacking enemies and things like that. But speaking of someone who hasn't played Spider-Man PlayStation 4, is that not already kind of in the PlayStation 4 game? You know what's an interesting concept? Wine. Hello, Wadgy. Thanks for joining the stream. How are you doing today? Hello. Oh, the gameplay for Godfall is what made it look interesting to read. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Wasn't too enthusiastic about it. At the end of the day, a lot of it will depend on A, how expensive it is, and B, what games it gets, right? So the fact that Demon's Souls Remake is going to be available exclusively on PlayStation 5 is, well, you're not going to be able to play it anywhere else, right? So that's a reason to buy a PlayStation 5. But I'm thinking back to when we bought our PlayStation 4, and that was in 2015, after Bloodborne release. So I have a feeling something similar might happen, where the game will come out with Spider-Man and Sackboy and Astro's Playroom at launch, but Demon's Souls or, you know, follow-up games that people are interested in, like Resident Evil 8 Village, for example, won't come out until like the January or even like the March afterwards. Because I think Bloodborne released in March 2015. Grab. Yeah, there we go. I mean, Sackboy's adventure looks pretty decent. It's like Sackboy Mario 3D World, essentially. That's interesting. You know, it's a game for the whole family to play and enjoy, stuff like that. So, you know, it was nice. But not wowing in such a way, I don't think. Obviously, if they continue to have the Little Big Planet style of user generation and levels and stuff like that, like having a 3D Mario Maker-esque kind of thing would be nice. Again, haven't played Astro Bot's VR thing, so don't know how well that plays necessarily. Ooh. So I can roll through the pews, I just need to make sure I can do it. Big stab, big stab. Did I block that? Okay, so I can block one, but I can't block the follow at least. So there's a Demon's Souls remake and Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned Horizon. No, I did. I mentioned Horizon Forbidden West, but yeah, that was pretty good. The whole tropical theme was pretty cool. I was stoked about it, and during the whole presentation, though. That's fair enough. You know, people are obviously very excited about PlayStation 5. We've got the Water Demon here as well. Hello, Water Demon. Thanks for joining the stream. How you doing today? We're just discussing the PlayStation 5 reveal event. I did think it was really weird that they started off the presentation with GTA 5. Like, of course they're going to try and bring GTA to PlayStation 5, and it makes sense, GTA 5, PlayStation 5, whatever. But that came out 7 years ago. That's a PlayStation 3 game. Why are they, like, the very first thing they're showing in their event for PlayStation 5 is something that's over half a decade old? Why? Like, oh, I got grabbed. Like, I was expecting them to show like a proper blowout, this is what PlayStation 5 is capable of. And they showed a game we already know about. And yeah, alright, GTA 5 is one of the best-selling games of all time, and, you know, the fact that it will have GTA 5 is a big system seller because people really love GTA. But yeah, it's just like, why did they start with that? To be honest, start weak and build it up. Also, the upgrade is free. GTA 5 is useless and should just die. I mean, it's not useless, right? The whole GTA Online thing is doing very well for Rockstar at the moment. But, yeah, it's just like... If it had been, like, my personal opinion on what to show off, I would have gone with the Ratchet and Clank thing first to sort of demonstrate this is what PlayStation 5 is capable of in terms of level loading. Then go into the whole sports game, GTA 2K thing, because they saved the basketball thing right till the end. Or at least, like, you know, 3/4 of the way through. And it's like, yes, we understand there's going to be sports games on the PlayStation 5. You don't need to tell us this, really. I mean, they do, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a marketing event, right? But still, it's just like, it's not necessary, I don't think. I rolled into that. I deserve that. Okay, but this doesn't have a follow-up. That's good. But not a quick follow-up, at least. To be honest, I don't like GTA 5, but yeah, apparently a lot of people still play it. Well, it's made Rockstar able to make Red Dead Redemption 2 and, you know, just completely blow other companies out of the water in terms of profit made and so on. Maybe they're trying to do what Skyrim does. Just sell GTA 5 forever, port it to every single system. At the end of the day, though, surely they have to provide new content in GTA 5. Like, Skyrim came out on PlayStation 3 and was terrible, according to all the bugs and performances and so on. And then it came out again on PlayStation 4, but it had the special edition, which is all the DLC included. You could apply mods, things like that. So unless they're going to do something similar with GTA 5, it's like, well, it's GTA 5. You know what this is. You've played it for the last 7 years. So, I don't know. Maybe. It makes sense business-wise for them to do that, but it's just kind of not impressive to me, at least. Skyrim is a joke at this point compared to what other game studios did, while Bethesda Game Studios refuses to embrace change. Deathloop seems interesting. It's published by Bethesda. It's made by Arcane Studios, who did the Dishonored and Prey. Yeah, I was actually expecting another Dishonored game. But Deathloop did look okay. In fact, speaking of games that we saw, me and Pimsy were very surprised at just how many protagonists were people of color and female as well. Like, there's Kina, which had sort of an Asian aesthetic, or at least, you know, traditionally Japanese style, right? Obviously, there was Deathloop, which has a black protagonist, both male and female. Obviously, there's Miles Morales. Who else was there? Returnal featured a white woman, I believe. Who else was there? But yeah, just like commenting on the whole I need diverse games thing. Me and Pimsy was thinking that it's really surprising just how few games have... Oh wow. Didn't even get a chance to hear. It was really surprising how few games do have protagonists from black and minority ethnicities. So that was really cool to see. Mechanically, it seems Deathloop has a lot of stuff inspired by Dishonored. Yeah. I think there's like, isn't there time rewind powers in Dishonored? So you can kind of do something like that in Deathloop as well. I was half expecting it to be like a Prey 2 game, but I don't know how well Prey did for Arcane Studios to consider making another one. Although at the end of the day, it's Bethesda who are the publisher, right? So they've got the ultimate say on whether a game gets made or not, because they're the ones funding it. So yeah, was there anything else like spectacular wowed us? I did say on Twitter that I thought the standout was Little Devil Inside, which looked really cool. Jumping into the flames. Like, it feels like it's got comedy to it, and it's got a unique style as well. And that looked like something that wasn't, you know, made for PlayStation 4. I mean, none of the games are made for PlayStation 4, right? But they're all made on PC, but it's like, this is what we can do with the hardware kind of thing. Even if it is just a different change in aesthetic. Bleed. Ooh, staggered. Oh, shouldn't have tried to punish. Shouldn't have tried to punish. There's lots of mechanics in Dishonored. Little Devil Inside was also funny. Yeah, like, alright, they had a classic, oh, here's a poop joke, right? Where the guy's dropping a piece of dynamite into the cave, and then the guy, it cuts directly to a guy on the toilet. But it's just, you know, a little bit goofy fun, which was nice to see. I wonder what Activision will come up with the PlayStation 5 with FromSoft. I don't know. I mean, it's going to take FromSoft a while to make their next game, and will they even partner with Activision for the next one? They might decide to do another Sony exclusive like they did with Bloodborne. Obviously, Bluepoint are doing the Demon's Souls remake, so it's not a From Software thing specifically. So, oh, of course, we didn't actually see... Tell you what we didn't see. We didn't see any Elden Ring. I was half expecting to see some. It's like, well, the Demon's Souls thing's been rumored. The Bloodborne 2 thing is not, like, based in any reality whatsoever. But Elden Ring should be able to be featured, right? For a PlayStation 5 event? But no, we did not see any more Elden Ring either. Wadgy says, I want the cat game. Yes, the cat game was great. Even if it is just playing as a cat exploring a world which robots are the main population rather than humans, it's interesting. It actually reminded us of a game we watched during the Wholesome Directs, which is where you are a mouse that is getting guided by like a spark of electricity, and you have to follow them and power different things. Look at that. Back it up. Back it up. How did that hit me? From Software games have always been shown at Xbox events. Really? Clearly Bloodborne wasn't, but when was the last Dark Souls one? Well, I guess Bandai Namco, isn't it? So maybe they were featured at multi-platform Xbox stuff. Depends on which publisher gives them more money and creative freedom. Since Elden Ring is an RPG, they need more time than usual. Well, let's see. When did Sekiro came out? It came out last year, right? They probably haven't made any DLC or anything for Sekiro, so it's not like they're working on Bloodborne: The Old Hunters or Dark Souls 3: Ringed City. So chances are Elden Ring, if it was partway in development already when we saw it, is not going to come out until late 2021 at the earliest, I think. And that's not even, you know, allowing for the fact that games do get delayed. The pandemic has caused stuff to get pushed back. So, you know, maybe it'll be 2022. By then, the PlayStation 5 will be fully out and released. And we'll see what it looks like performance-wise, price-wise, how people are adopting it compared to the Xbox Series X. We'll see. Sekiro wasn't an RPG. Elden Ring was already in development since before their VR game was released. Oh, Deracine, yes. Sekiro is just an action game with customization elements, not many either. And Bloodborne was in development since Artorias of the Abyss was released. So that was like, what, 2012? Elden Ring was in development alongside their VR game. Yeah, before we do that, let's go and put Chaos Fire Orb on. Still, I'm sure the PlayStation 5 will be a worthy investment. Chances are Pimsy and I will buy it at some point. It just has to be when the price is right and or the games are available for it. Because people are still not 100% sure on what the price is going to be. Apparently there was an interview today, or, you know, before the PlayStation 5 reveal event, where the CEO of the company was talking about how they want to offer good value for the money. And, you know, in the midst of a pandemic where chances are people may not have the disposable income to spend on games consoles, that doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to be cheap. Even with having a digital-only version as well. So, be interested to see what the price is. I'm half expecting it to be £500. Depends on how they do conversions between US prices and not. I know traditionally in the past they've just done a straight conversion from dollars to euros, and with the whole currency exchange thing in the whole currency exchange situation we're in the UK, chances are it'll be almost a straight conversion as well, but maybe 20 quid difference. I'm not sure. Which one? I honestly don't remember what I was talking about, Remus, for that question. Games value propositions. Conversion's always the same for dollars to euros. Yeah. Recently, the conversion from euros to pounds has been not as favorable as it was in the past for the UK. Because the UK, the pound used to be a lot stronger, as we all know. But, yeah. You know, I'm going to put Carthus Rouge on this attempt, I think. I think it's worth getting there. Which of the PlayStation 5? Good question. Because for us, I've bought most of our games digitally, but not when we first started buying games for them. So obviously, we bought Bloodborne physically. We bought Dark Souls 3 physically. Dark Souls 2 physically as well. But since then, even though the prices of games have been, like, more expensive, I've tended to focus on digital versions of them. Like, when The Last of Us comes out, I think we're probably going to get the digital version. Which is interesting because the digital version's like almost a full £10 more expensive than the physical ones you can get from online retailers, whoever those may be. So, I don't know. It feels like we should still get the one with the disc drive, even though we don't buy that many physical games, just because having the option for a disc drive is a good thing. Like I said, we've still got PlayStation 4 games, right? In theory, the PlayStation 5 can play those PlayStation 4 games. So we need the disc drive to do that. Because I don't think Sony are going to be charitable and giving you game downloads for free. Our opinion of the PlayStation 5 that has the disc drive would be better if it was fully, like, symmetrical. So at the moment it's got like a curve to one side, and to me that just doesn't look good. I would have preferred it if the PlayStation 5 had been thicker, and just made where the disc drive is all the way up. That would have been better to me. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the games are the most important thing, right? The power, the price, you know. You can spend thousands of pounds on a gaming PC, but the benefit of playing on a gaming PC is you get all PC games. There is no worries about console exclusive stuff because you get PC exclusive stuff. And that can be a shame when something cool comes out and isn't available on your platform, but it's like, well, you just have to miss out. You know, I've not played Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo 6. Probably won't play Halo Infinite unless we get an Xbox for some reason. I was expecting there to be more big hitters. So out of the things that were shown, the things that I would consider big hitters were Horizon Zero Dawn 2. So Horizon 2, Forbidden West. The Miles Morales PlayStation game, the Demon's Souls remake, and possibly the Resident Evil 8 thing, which we haven't really talked about, because me and Pimsy aren't really into survival horror. But yeah, well, actually, that's not true. I suppose GTA 5 counts as a big hitter, 2K21 counts as a big hitter. What else? Gran Turismo counts as a big hitter. It's just, those are not the games for us, basically. Like, ooh, another sports game. Ooh, another driving game. Too true, too true. Oh, man. I'm trying to think back to the last E3, or even the E3 from the E3 from 2018. Are there any big games that we've not really seen for a while and have been missing for ages? Oh, we did actually see gameplay for Ghostwire Tokyo, the one that was made from Tango Gameworks. I think Ikumi Nakamura did a E3 presentation for that last year, and everyone was like, oh, isn't she so precious? And then it turns out she's actually left that game studio now. So I don't know what's going on there. But, yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo didn't really seem that appealing to me and Pimsy. Soon King's gone. There's item. Right, is it? Estus Shard, that is useful. When Ghostwire Tokyo was announced, they had like a cinematic trailer thing where we were like, ooh, Titanic Chunks now. Just wanted to see the new Little Big Planet game. Yeah, we were thinking Little Big Planet Sackboy's Big Adventure. Looks cool. It's a great candidate for a game that's bundled in with a PlayStation 5, where it's, you know, a physical disc or a digital code. Chances are, to make sure that everyone can play it, they'll include it as a digital code. But no, that looks like it'll be a game that is nice, fun for the family. Pimsy was like not thinking too much of it, but I was like, no, this makes perfect sense. It's, you know, it's a platformer game, Little Big Planet, Sackboy. I did find it quite funny that in order to show off the female protagonist, they had to give her long hair and very colourful costume, and then you've just got plain brown Sackboy with just barely anything on him. But, you know, it's pretty standard par for the course when it comes to designing video game, or even like any cartoon characters, kind of, you know. You have to make sure that we explain that this one is the girl one. Right, is there a drop off here? There is. Okay, is there an item here? Oh, okay. Fine. It's Sackboy. Why would you change him? Changing him might upset people. No, yeah, you're right, you're right. I was just sort of pointing out that there isn't a plain brown sack girl, as it were, you know? It has to be colourful, has to have long hair, has to do some other stuff. Ooh. We've got Imaginary Idiot here. Hey, hi, hello. Hello, Imaginary Idiot. Thanks for joining the stream. What did you think of the PlayStation 5 reveal event yesterday? Real Pie Master says, I honestly prefer the way the new Xbox looks. I think it's because of storage sense. I have no place to put the PlayStation 5 right now other than an uneven floor. Yeah. Remus overslept a little bit for work. Oh dear. Don't worry, I've done that as well, Remus. We're in the same boat. Cyrus the anorexic goat grub. I mean, I don't think he looks like a grub. He looks like a smooth, scaleless lizard. Which is kind of what that is, you know, as a dragon without scales. Yeah, the whole thing about the PlayStation 5 not fitting in. They've made it... Are you serious? Go away. They've made the PlayStation 5 try and look like a statement piece. But to me, it just looks like I'm going to have to find somewhere special for this because it won't fit in my room or on my desk or whatever. Like, I'm looking at our TV stand now, right? It's got the base where the TV's on, and underneath it has like sections, so we can have all of our consoles laid down horizontally. So the Switch actually has to go onto something else. It goes onto the PC case that we have. So I'm just thinking, like, so it's going to have to go horizontally, the PlayStation 5. And not really going to look great being there either. Are you following this? Yeah, thank you. Pimsy was saying, like, it looks like something that Elon Musk would design as Tesla or SpaceX or something. Oh, sorry, I've got a very itchy nose. I get really itchy noses for some reason. Don't know why. Imaginary Idiot says, I don't know much about the PlayStation 5 other than its design, which I dislike, and the fact that you can get one that can't play physical games, which is interesting. So I think Imaginary Idiot's referring to the fact that there's two versions. So you can get one that doesn't play physical games, and one that does. I don't get it. Do people have a lot of small TV cabinets? No, this TV cabinet isn't small. It's just there is not space for a PlayStation 5 to go on the side of it. Like, there's not even space for a Switch dock. And the Switch dock is probably the smallest console there is, you know? I mean, people are hoping for a Switch version that doesn't include a TV output thing. Sorry, that's wrong. A Switch version that doesn't include a screen, so you can just plug it straight into the TV, like a normal, you know, PlayStation or Xbox console does. And I'm like, really? That kind of defeats the purpose of what the Switch is all about, doesn't it? But yeah, we just don't have that space. The TV goes on the TV stand, and the way they want you to show off the PlayStation 5 is, well, there's not really space for it. So. Just get the PlayStation 5 you want, and get a bigger TV cabinet. It's already pretty big. Like, it's a substantial cabinet. It's just not the right proportions or dimensions for what they want you to have for the PlayStation 5. I guess the digital-only version of the PlayStation 5 is cheaper, says Imaginary Idiot, but I really enjoy the physical aspect of ownership, you know? I'm actually of the opposite. I am finding it very freeing, thinking of how much space we can save by not getting physical stuff anymore. The last thing we got physically was the Xenoblade Collector's Edition, but that's obviously because it's Collector's Edition, right? But I don't feel like I've missed out by not having physical games. Speaking as someone who doesn't resell games very often, like, I think I've sold some spare Wii and Wii U games on eBay. But otherwise, most of the physical games we buy, we keep. And it's nice to be able to have that ability to just plug in a disc and play it. But at the same time, if you've got a hard drive space for it, you've got like terabytes of hard drive space on a portable hard drive and stuff like that. Just plug in the hard drive and you've got like hundreds of games potentially. Maybe not so much now because games are huge nowadays, but I can already see for Timmy's birthday getting Sackboy on disc from his grandma, but he has the PlayStation 5 that doesn't play physical games. True. I imagine the people at Sony must have weighed up that concern already and thought it makes us a better value proposition for the people that want to buy the physical disc version compared to the digital one, and hopefully that doesn't, you know, cause too much brand reputation or lasting damage. Because aren't the people at Xbox thinking of doing a digital only version of Xbox One X, the Lockhart version, whatever that is? Because I know they already do an all digital version of the Xbox One S, but I don't think there's one for the Xbox One X yet. And yes, I'm always going to hate the fact that it's like, hey, which Xbox One do you want? I would like the Xbox One X. Is that X as in xylophone or S as in Sierra? The Xbox One X. X for Xbox. They could have come up with a better name than that. In fact, calling it the Sexbox is actually a better name because that's more... It's clearer that that's actually a new thing. But even then, it's like, do you want the Sexbox or the Xbox One S? Imaginary Idiot says, it's probably from when I was a kid and I spend hours looking at DVD boxes. I probably bonded boxes. No, I agree. That is pretty cool to do as a kid. Like, looking at all the instruction manuals of all your old games is quite a nice feeling. But I think the world has moved on to the world of streaming and digital distribution and so on. So I don't think we necessarily need physical games, personally speaking. I rolled in and I should have rolled away. It depends on what you qualify as a kid. Anyone younger than me. I say Xbox, but I write it as XSX. I mean, the initialism is good. Like, SXX is good, right? Because that's clear. You got Xbox One S, which is XBOS, whatever. But yeah, it's just the full name is just terrible. Here I am just watching the stream and you caught me completely unaware with the Sexbox. It's the Xbox Series X or Xbox SEX or the Sexbox. It's like it's the same thing of, oh, we didn't realize people would call it the X-Bone for the Xbox One. It's like, how did you not know that? it's Xbox and 1. When you write it as an initial, it's going to be XBO because you've already got the original Xbox. And, you know, talking about Xbox One and the original Xbox is already a minefield because it's like, which one do you want? I want the first one. Is that the Xbox or the Xbox One? And it's like, is the Xbox One not the first one? It's like, no, it's not. I think I've got the run to Osiris down, though. I just need to, like, juke and jive past the Cathedral Knight by actually getting a lot closer to him than I'm comfortable with. And hopefully we can just speed past him. Like so. Yeah, there we go. So I've got 14 more lightning resins. I might save another use for another attempt later on. I'm still waiting for an intro as cool as the GameCube startup. Oh yeah, that's great. Just like boom. Yeah. I think there was actually a sneak peek at the PlayStation 5 startup, the boot screen, just before the Astrobot one. And it looks nice, but you know, there's nice and there's like, please just let me play the game. Apparently, oh, I should really give that S a shot in. Please let me play the game and get the games going. Like, another thing that impressed me about the Xbox One was the whole pause and resume multiple games at once. So, playing one game, pausing that, suspending it, going to another game almost instantaneously was pretty cool. I think they might have sped up the load times for the demonstration, but in theory, it's still a cool thing. So hopefully the PlayStation 5 can do something similar. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for me today, guys. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.